Hey everybody, I'm going to be responding to prompt number 2. The question was, what are some stereotypes others hold about you and your own cultural group? So I identify as Arab. My dad was born in Nazareth, Palestine. He was born there, raised there, came here for college, and then eventually had children. And we ended up being raised half here and half there from the time that we were when I was in seventh grade up until I turned 18 because my parents got divorced and my dad moved back home. So, yeah, I identify as Arab American. There are a lot of stereotypes that come with being Arab. A lot of people believe that all Arabs are Muslim, and that is not true. There's Roman Catholic, Greek Catholic, Christian, Jewish. There are, of course, Muslims. That's the predominant religion of Arabs, but there are many other religions that an Arab can be. Um, Ever since 9/11, of course, everyone thinks that Arab people are terrorists or are invading the country and spying and all of that stuff. And when I was in grade school, I dealt with a lot of that. I went to a very small private school, and I remember always around the time of 9/11 or any time after that, a lot of kids would try to joke and be funny and say, "Oh, Sophia, do you have a bomb in your backpack?" or just little dumb jokes. And even at a young age, I was like, "Oh my gosh, these kids have no idea." Um, and it was so frustrating because it's like it's such a stereotype and it's not true that me being so young, I didn't understand why people would say that. Um, there was a huge stereotype in the book that happened, I want to say a module or two ago, and it actually was a question on our exam. And I kind of called the textbook out on social media for this because it's not true at all. So, the question that was on our quiz was, when you are engaged in conversation with someone from the Arab American culture, it is nearly impossible to understand the conversation unless you understand the blank expressions that are used. And the answer to this question was religious. So, the religious expressions that are used make it impossible to understand a conversation with an Arab American. This makes no sense based on the fact that I just said Arabs are every religion. So using religious expressions doesn't really make sense if we don't all believe the same thing. Um, it's kind of like trying to say, if you're an American and you use the phrase, "oh my God," like, "oh my gosh, or "oh my God, I just dropped my books," or "oh my God, that's crazy." It's the same thing as saying that, oh, it would be impossible to understand an American because they use the phrase, "oh my God," even though everyone understands what that means. It's not us stating religious beliefs, it's just a phrase that gets used. And I think a lot of times people say that religion plays such a big part in Arabs' lives and in their communication is because they use phrases like this. We all use the phrase inshallah, which means God willing. So, you know, it's almost like a maybe answer. If your parents tell you inshallah, it's maybe, like we'll see how it all plans out. And you wouldn't say, just because someone says, "oh my God," that you can't understand their conversation and you can't understand what they're saying to you because they use that. If you understand that it's just a phrase, there's no religious tie to every single thing that an Arab talks about, you would understand that that question makes absolutely no sense and has no factual standpoint in anything to do with Arabs. And I think that that also plays a part, that a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't care to understand that. And it's like this stereotype is being promoted by college level education textbooks and college level courses. And it's like, if we're expecting the regular people of America to understand something or to not have these stereotypes, like we can't expect that because look at what we're teaching at high levels of education. So I just wanted to kind of make that clear a little bit. And now I guess I can get off of my soapbox, but yeah, just something to think about, that if there is such a big stereotype about something, maybe try to dive deeper into it and really understand from someone who is from that culture, um, what it really means, if it's true, how it works, so that way we don't send out irrelevant, incorrect information to the masses of people that are eventually going to be running our world. So, yeah, thanks.